All right, let's run in a few minutes behind. Let's go ahead and open this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May you be seated. Today is a little bit of a housekeeping effort for us, and I do appreciate our committee members continuing in the process of quote-unquote hanging in there. Let me get this off here. Okay. All right. And first off the agenda, we're going to take care of our minutes, housekeeping, and it's been a long, arduous summer here, and so we're going to catch up on approving the minutes. I would like to, I believe, if it's okay with the committee, I would like to take these one at a time. They're fairly exhaustive minutes. There's a lot of points in them, and there's a couple items there instead of approving them all at once. So let's pull out the June 17th minutes. I want to thank our recorder. Best minutes in town, as they say. You pulled them out and reviewed. We sent them all out. I sent some notes out, and then Christina circled back around and got them all fancied up for us. And that's the document that you'll have printed out. In my review, the first one in June, I didn't have any questions. If there's anybody, we're not in a big rush for time, so if the committee wants to take a few minutes.
Neil, I have a question
Yes.
about the mission vision statement. Where is that? I would like to see a copy of that.
Yeah, we had that review. We should have all that in our emails and stuff. We can circle back around and make sure.
In emails previous to June.
I think it's going to be previous to you here.
Oh, wait.
That may be why
Oh,
I'm...
maybe that's
Yeah,
why.
because that's with SE Group, which was basically concluded that approximately December of last year, and so we've essentially been working off of an all but finished mission and vision statement, and we kind of put it to bed, kind of like, okay, so that was the vision and mission, and then the ETDD stuff, the land use and transportation.
Where can I see that?
We'll get that. I have all that.
Okay.
Okay, so if you remind me that, so I see now, it was August when Katie, we accepted Katie's resignation and you came on. So, okay, we'll catch you up on those documents.
Just to close that quickly, just to
Yeah, back to
so SE Group, this is just a good time to remind us what SE Group's job was and what ETDD. SE Group was meant to do community engagement and then help us form the mission and vision statement basically, and then to kind of hold everything as project managers. So IDA and SE Group kind of have like all of the official documents that, in her repositories. We might have them in email and such too, but she's kind of the source of truth in terms of, if you want to request something from her.
So I believe that was a presentation evening, and I probably have that here.
Yeah.
And I'll go back from, I can see it now, from August and pull back a little bit to get those documents to you.
It's online.
Yeah.
Oh, the mission, oh, okay.
All the minutes are online at the May.
Okay. All right, there was something else there that you had mentioned with the vision statement that I was going to.
Well, I have, for June,
Yeah.
just number 5 on our notes, I could just read it because I think it's the basis for some of our continued slogging.
It's in these.
Yeah, number 5, direction to ETDD, format and deliverables. Committee reached consensus to formally instruct ETDD to align the updated plan with the prior plan's chapter structure, provide a red line or chapter map comparison for ease of review, maintain discrete chapters for development plan and implementation methods, The rationale behind it was to ensure continuity across plan generations and maintain usability for planning commission and board workflow. That direction has basically been our direction for almost 2 years now, or 18 months to them. And just calling it out here that it was June that we reiterated that. With them.
And that was a response to deliverable.
Yeah.
Mayor, you want to chime in on this?
Well, for the purpose of the minutes, I think that's exactly what we discussed. And then the city had a follow-up discussion with ETDD to reiterate that. And so we did have a meeting where they agreed to put the information in that format. But this is where we first, we had started to get that document from.
I think it was the first document.
Yeah, and it didn't really sort of fit what we had asked them to do. And so
Section
I believe that accurately captures it.
Yeah, I mean, it's June, so we would have been, if you remember back, we would have been basically waiting all spring for a couple, that specific memory of it being like March and April and May, and being like, okay, when's it coming? And then we got it maybe a week, 2 to 10 days before the meeting, reviewed it, we're like, not sure this is right.
So we're talking about the section 2 document.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah,
right.
the one that's kind of reformatted and weird here. But for purpose of these minutes, they seem to accurately.
Committee members, any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the June meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Should I vote since I wasn't here? I mean, they look good to me.
No, that's no problem. Okay, that's June. Let's pull up July. Thank you, committee. July 15, 2025. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Committee members present. I believe this was the evening, or I'm looking at right here, the Parks and Rec presentation.
Has it
Do
been
I see a number 3?
Has it been that long?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
But he's royal.
Was that a comparison?
It was a comparison.
I believe it was a comparison part. Yeah.
When Ida opened up, she had another city she was using from like it wasn't Estes Park, but it was somewhere like out west, and
Gateway to town.
Royal Park was her, call it, most similar to the assets that we were dealing with here. So I mean, if you want to amend that, just say comparison park or similar.
By the way, with SC Group, I appreciate the fact, I know they're not going to hear this, but their presentations have been prompt and accurate. Appreciate their involvement in this for sure. And it's obviously reflected in the minutes. In number 4, on the 3rd page, I believe, you can see the mayor's reference to East Tennessee Development District outline now aligns with the current land use and transportation plan chapters. So that was a
You know, we received the next chapter, or one of the other chapters in the same format, and it was actually, well done in that one, and I think that was the, let's call it the Light of Hope meeting, when we thought we had everything working in the right direction before we descended into the other direction later on.
There, just a note at the bottom of number 4, the East Tennessee Development Gantt chart showed September as a completion target.
We have target in June too, I don't know if you care. about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, no, I do care about it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, and I believe that was the initial goal, I don't know if these have been hard dates with us, but they've definitely been goals that have been very well referenced
Yes,
to SE Group.
in
It's in
June,
there. Okay.
anticipated late summer, early fall.
There you go. Thank you, Christina. I don't see, I'm on the last page, everything's looking good. I don't have any questions. Any comments, committee? Off to my right. Mayor, John?
Looks good.
Christina?
Yeah. Actually,
Sandy?
it reflects what it is.
Okay. All right, I don't see any additions or corrections. Anybody? Anybody? Make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the July 2025 Cpac meeting
Okay,
minutes.
do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, July approved. All right, on to August, the August 19th meeting. The warm months. It looks like, just as we move forward, committee members, there's two you'll see highlighted that were, we just wanted to question, double check who was here, who was in attendance. And I think, I tried to pull it up on the video.
Yeah, I thought I did on September, I'll double check, because I can, if it's on the video, I can do it, but they weren't all on.
Yeah, they weren't, yeah, and I checked that also, so maybe we can kind of,
I'll
we
check
know,
it down. I have to.
we know Katie's off, and I know that, as we get there, I'm sure Richard is not in attendance for those. All right, so let's pull August 19th.
Is he still?
Yeah.
Yeah, before.
Yeah. In spirit.
Thank you.
Okay,
No.
on number two, this was the evening that we took Katie's resignation from Cpac. Much appreciation expressed. She was a big part of the committee for a long time. Last time I ran into Richard, I think I went to his house, I'm not exactly sure, due to his wife's health. Yeah, he's been kind of full-time caregiver there and working through that. And then I believe that third point there where you see the mayor issued another call for expression, and that's how we got Sandy. But yes, it was a good day. Sandy jumped on board, and we'll see her name in the, I don't think she's missed a meeting since she came on. We appreciate that, Sandy.
Probably even before.
Yeah, probably before, yeah.
I was there.
You were right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you all a minute to look this over.
Well, an important part of these notes is an expression of all of the ways that ETDD has stretched them to reach deliverables. And though it does lay out what will be reflected in the September meeting, just like what we are expecting from them in September. But this is what lays the groundwork for the fact that the TDOT review of the transportation corridors, the kind of first time we've talked about where it's, hey, this document will have kind of an asterisk in it that says, hey, there's still a TDOT review going on or something, so we probably won't have it included.
I do want to make one revision. And in section 3, I ran across this earlier. A red line comment version is to be shared with the Cpac committee and not just the leadership. I believe whatever we got submitted, I went back and looked at my emails, and when that was submitted, it was sent to everybody in the committee. I don't know if that's picked up I don't know what that, was that a note taker?
Yeah.
I mean, all of these notes would have been
Okay.
generated, note taker with edits from us into them.
Okay, okay. I would like to amend that to Cpac committee and not just, what it says there, like,
Okay.
put that in there. See, we picked up our Cpac meeting planning includes, I didn't see anything else. This is, kind of your lane, co-chair. Get into all the technical stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, it's reflective of the meeting, it's accurate of the meeting. If there's anything we want to talk about that came from that meeting, we can talk. That was Sandy Road the first time your voice was heard about the
Retention bond.
the balance between aspirational, like, yeah, we should include this because we are a local government, and like, it's what you do to limit liability of local government versus what is actually going to happen. In reality, what are we actually going to do to mitigate X, Y, and Z natural disasters in the future? So I mean that it ended up being just a long discussion about the various different natural disaster risks and the various things we can plan for.
Very spirited discussion about the retention bond, I remember. But there's a lot, I really like the way these minutes are done because it really helps us reflect coming back a few months with all the action items, and I really like that.
Well, Dave, minus, except for your noted change on there, do y'all have any other notes or comments on
I
this?
don't,
Just so I can keep it straight in my mind as I'm slow in getting on to this, Kim is a Kim.
Yeah, Kim is a Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't translate.
do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Oh, you have?
Yeah, just one point. Vice Chair, you brought up review by TDOT. Are you referring to the corridor management plan?
Yeah.
Okay, so we probably need to have that in there somewhere.
This was the one that, so it was odd, we really talked about it in September. Like that was when Kim was like, it was kind of like, hey, this is, the question, I bring it up because we have kind of laid the foundation for what should be included in there and what should be included in the land use and transportation plan when we go to approve it and what is impossible for us to include. But we didn't really discuss it deeply in August. It was more in September. So
I see.
if it's not in September, we'd add
Put a marker down, but it
Yeah.
wasn't a substantive.
Yeah, it wasn't worthy of notes.
Okay.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Okay, well,
I'll make a motion to approve the August 2025 CPAC meeting minutes with the one updated note from our chairman about the receival of the document to the entire committee, not just the leadership.
I noticed it's reflected in the very last item on the last page.
Okay.
It says right there, received red line comment version forward to all committee members.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I don't believe it reflects. We can just add
Yeah.
and forward to all committee members there.
Like
it
do
shows
that
in the back.
yeah.
Okay. All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I was, okay. Man, this is like a real business meeting. All right, September 16th. All right, co-chair, your line.
So in September, we reviewed historic preservation planning and documentation. This was the meeting where we basically read through the historic planning document and made sure it aligned to what we were looking at, and we asked basic questions on what the 50-year threshold means, whether or not a place could be something without a structure on it, what sort of land use, and so we covered all the different topics there. This is really detailed in these notes. I mean, everything from what we were reading about from 2,000 years ago, or excuse me, 4,000 years ago in 2000 BC, all the way up to kind of the national park creation in the 30s and 40s. So, as I reviewed this, this is basically taking notes on what I was reading out loud for the historical documentation. so we didn't have a ton of discussion on this like necessarily, so if y'all have read this and found anything that was different, please speak up, but
So I believe this falls into the category, there's factual content and I guess commentary.
yeah.
And this falls into that factual content. Still a lot of good spirited conversations about the historic relevance of a lot of buildings. And even though the buildings are gone, there's still some foundations around that are exciting. I'm a history buff. I see a lot of value in this. And even for the tourism part of Townsend, there's still a lot of value in the content.
I'm just curious, like, we talked about the John Shea House being George Townsend House, and it mentions that it may be actually misidentified. Who is
So,
following up with that?
I did the research on that. George Shea was the builder.
Yes,
Yes.
for George Townsend.
For George Townsend's house, yeah. And they apparently had built a few of those church-style craftsman homes. And that is actually, I don't know if I picked that up from Blount County history or whether it was documented at the Railroad Museum, but I was able to pick that up, that he was the builder of some of these larger homes here in town.
Okay.
And it wasn't,
Sorry?
What point was that on the last one? at the bottom?
There's some action on it. It's
Yeah,
mentioned,
Actually, I got it, yeah.
it's mentioned in the beginning of
Right
meeting
there.
notes
Yeah.
and questioned, and then here was an action item to follow up, and I just wondered, so he
Yeah.
was the builder.
it's in number 5, yeah, the contents in number 5.
Okay.
So unless it's, it's not like a Frank Lloyd Wright, house, that was at George Townsend's house. I don't know who John Shea, other than building a few homes in town. So a very factual meeting. We have, I'm looking at action items right now on the last page.
Once you get through this is the one where we need to verify members present in here.
All I need is the video. I'll figure that out.
Okay, so we'll defer that to, and I did look online on our YouTube channel
Yeah, they
and
were.
see they weren't there, so maybe we can follow up with,
I know, I was in DC.
with Dell. I'm gonna make a note of that. And I would like to ask the committee if they would approve the minutes based on the correction following. Is the committee okay with that? The correction for attendance?
Yep.
Just to, as a confirmation, Mayor, question?
Who were you trying to verify that was there from ETDD
No,
or
no, no,
something?
no.
One of us,
Committee.
committee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't have it written down, I wasn't here, and the videos are not up on the YouTube channel to check.
We think we have the correct attendees, but we wish, since we have availability to the YouTube channel, we want to double check it.
I'd say you could approve it, and if you find that it's not accurate, go back and amend it.
All right, I'll take the mayor's comment.
I make a motion to approve the September Cpac meeting minutes as is.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? All right, passed, September 16th.
Just
All right.
note then for this next one for October, same thing with, we will take our best guess on attendance and then.
So that was just,
I think Don wasn't here, John wasn't here, anybody, Richard wasn't here.
1, 2, 3. We did, I think that's it.
We had a quorum.
Yeah,
We had five.
I think we just had the quorum.
Yeah,
So
I think this is
that's-
right. I think this is right.
Yeah, I
that's it.
confirm I wasn't here.
You were gone, John? Okay, all right. So we will confirm that, because we know we had a quorum, exactly, the quorum will confirm that. Okay, the committee reviewed SE Group's 18-page draft for the Parks and Rec master plan. So that's one thing that I believe, Mayor, is different from the 2010 document, is the Parks and Rec master plan. So we added a vision statement and we added a master plan to just say the previous document, and then therefore this document will be updated to 2025 or 6 or who knows.
2028 of this year. Take that off the
That's okay. He's been around a while. We're tired. I understand. But anyways, that was a great addition. There was some involvement. I believe Commissioner Satterfield attended that meeting and was in attendance. And it was good to have her comments in there. I know she had worked with Ida a few phone conferences and worked through that. And I do believe, with Commissioner Satterfield's comments, that she was very excited about the way the document looked, the way it turned out.
Yeah, she definitely made a point to say that
She should.
it was received very well where she showed it to.
With her, I think that to her committee. Yeah. All right. Once again, just our note taker is just reflecting the presentation. I know there was, I'm looking on the second page, and at the top there, I remember there was discussion about the Townsend, the old Townsend Park and Special People's Park. And I believe that the comment there for the Dark Island Swinging Bridge, there was an answer back that was going to get corrected by the county, state, Blount County.
I wasn't here, so
Yeah, no, but
not for the meeting minutes, but we have been in some discussions with Blount County, and we are, I think, anticipating that if we can complete easement agreements for the property on both sides of the river, that Blount County will repair the swinging bridge, and then we will enter into an arrangement with them so that they will maintain it going forward. So that would be a real good thing. And so we'll be, as soon as we get a little bit more information on the easements, it's been hard to track down some of these property owners, but I think we've done that at this point, and we'll be putting in place hopefully an easement agreement, and if they will agree to that, then that'll be the next step before we enter into an arrangement with the county to be able to repair it and have that taken over.
it's really good.
Yeah, so that's really good news.
That has been a right of way for years. I mean, a way across for
Right.
years. So you gotta go way back for those deeds. I bet they're hard to
Yeah, we're
translate.
very, very optimistic about
Probably handwritten on the deeds.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I do believe the swinging bridges are a big part of not only the history, but what draws a lot of tourists down to that. That's got to be the most popular swinging bridge in town. I would imagine would be people get to in
the
town.
only one technically.
That's right.
Okay.
But there
No, it's not the only one.
I know, you're absolutely right.
There's two in there.
You're absolutely right.
Well, it's just easily accessible. The one on the road, that's a little,
You're right.
yeah, that's a fear factor.
More dangerous.
Yeah.
Miss it, yes.
Let's get this thing closed out. Let's get this notes. Make a motion to approve the October notes.
I'll second. I think Dave's still reading it.
No, I'm not reading.
So once again,
This is
back
all. All right, I'm through. All right, he makes a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Same, because I wasn't here.
Abstain, okay. All right, so they'll stand as read. That catches us up on our minutes.
I'll take the yellow off and
Yep.
resend it to
There we go. And get these to
Gayla.
Gayla.
Order.
And I would, if she sends them to Gayla's email address, you'll get them?
Yeah,
Is
so,
that my understanding?
let me address a couple things.
Yeah, please.
One, the YouTube video, so almost a month ago, when I walked in the door, we were pretty much dead in the water as a city. And with Galen coming back, we're hitting on all cylinders now. But we were definitely in survival mode for a little bit. And one of those things that is not required by state law, which is posting, while it is very important to get those up there, we think it's very important. That is one of the things that we have not done. It's all front burner. Yeah, paying people, doing stuff the state requires, and
Every
our focus. So I just want to say, Dale has been great.
Oh, yeah.
It's not his fault. It's on me on those not getting posted. So
Well, and we use it as a supplementary crutch, right,
Yeah.
for us, just to kind of double check.
I think a lot of us do it. And it's good to have it so you don't have to know. Meeting minutes are not to be transcripts, right? They're to describe the action that was taken. And especially with having those videos posted, if somebody really wants to know exactly what happened in the meeting that weren't able to attend, they can see for themselves exactly what happened. Gayla does not have an email right now because also when she resigned, we changed it. So that's some of the technology things that we're fighting through right now. But we'll have all that rectified within the week. So if you send an email, it'll come to me, but it'll get to Gayla.
I sent you an email, did you get it? Just making sure you have the right email.
Yeah, that's, I printed all these out for y'all to take, so yeah, that's how they got it there, so, yeah.
Usually.
So I would like to open it up, one item before we go into open discussion, or good of the community. Any conversation, any questions on as far as consultants? Any discussion needed to be on, we always have a line item for our consultants, Mayor?
Yeah, this is just update for the committee about discussions with consultants. So the city manager and I had a meeting with SE Group to discuss the status of their contract, how many hours are left on their contract available for work, what they've completed to this point, and what they're still waiting for. So as Vice Chair was saying earlier, SE Group is responsible for doing the community engagement, preparing the vision statement. Parks and Rec master plan is also part of their contract. And then pulling together the final document is also their responsibility. So they have completed the community engagement, they've completed the vision statement, they've completed Parks and Rec master plan, and they are reserving hours now in their contract to be able to assemble and polish the final document. When we signed the contract, it had a time limit on it, and we needed to extend that. So we have discussed with SE Group for a no-cost contract extension, and so we have extended the contract of SE Group, so we'll continue to have their services, but we'll hold that in abeyance until we get the documents and things from ETDD and have the committee weigh in on that. So that's the status on SE Group. And so we are still planning to have some further engagement, I think, with ETDD so that we can affirm what the plan is going forward. They have provided us with a red line comment, but it's a pretty just high-level comment on the document, and I'm not sure if they're expecting more input from the committee, sort of chapter by chapter. When we asked for a red line of the document, I think what we expected to get back was new text, updated text, showing what had been added, what had been taken away from this document right here. That's not what we got. What we got was sort of high-level comments, and we need to have something more from ETDD. So we're continuing to work with ETDD. City manager and I will have another discussion with them. But as a result, we are going to be behind schedule. We have been talking in the committee, and I've said a few times that I wanted to have it by the end of the summer or in the fall. And well, we're past there, but we are going to be delayed on that. And that's the status of the discussions with the consultants. I did have one other thing that we might discuss as separate meetings, saying yes, you're poised with a question, but what we can do with the Parks and Rec master plan, because it is relatively good shape and complete at this point. So I'll hold that thought and see if there are other discussions. Sandy, do you have a question or?
The only thought I had was we had contracted with East Tennessee Development Company for a dollar amount for them to do the work we needed them to do.
That's right.
They're way behind, haven't delivered. Have there been any, is there any avenues to say, look guys, if you don't get this, we're gonna have to start deducting from your contract because you've not held up your end, or is that just not appropriate?
Well, we've had 2 discussions with ETDD at this point, so we probably need to have another one to see, how we can make sure that we have this on track. Of course, we do contract with them for their regular consulting services, so I think they have some incentive to, to work with us on that. But clearly, they've undertaken a contract and they still have deliverables to deliver. City Manager, anything more you want?
No, I think you covered that pretty well.
Okay. Now, having said that, one thought occurred to me. The Parks and Rec Master Plan is a very useful document, and it's in pretty good shape. And one of the reasons we wanted to have that as an appendix, I think it still works as an appendix to the community plan. But if there is a possibility that we can start leveraging that document and using it to apply for grants, we might not need to wait necessarily. And so, City Manager, I'll turn to you to see if you have any comments on this. But what that would involve would, of course, be presenting it to the Planning Commission and seeing if the Planning Commission would endorse it. This is not a pathway that we had sort of envisioned earlier, but if we've got a document that's done and we can start to use to help us apply for grants, that might be something to at least consider.
And while you're passing the microphone, I'll just ask you this question. In the beginning of this committee, when the consultant was asked for the Parks and Rec Master Plan, I guess we'll have to review the document, but does it not have to be a part of an implemented land use and transportation document?
I do not think so. I think it can be a standalone document. CC Group, which is working on Special People's Park. I spoke with them. We've kind of put that on pause a little bit until first of the year. Obviously, we've got a lot of factors that are in play. The hotel motel tax, 3%. That will open up opportunities for us to get some of these projects going through with or without grants. They assured me that pushing it back to that timeline would not hurt us with any grants that are coming up to be open. Back to the plan itself, the Parks and Recreation Plan, that can be a standalone document. I think it would take approval by commission. I'd also want to check with the SE Group since they've worked really well with us and it's part of a bigger project they're working on, and ask them if it's okay if we take that as a finished product and adopt it as our plan. I don't want them to say, well, hold on a minute now, we're working with you, we don't have anything done yet, now you're taking part of our.
That would be my concern, and secondly, my concern would be the legal aspect of detaching a document that should be included in the.
I think it can be a standalone, because my understanding is when you go for these grants, they want to see your plan. They don't care if it's part of a bigger plan or not. And my understanding is also that really gives us a leg up. They're really encouraged about our chances of getting a grant, due to the fact that we've never asked for one. And they'd like to see communities doing what we're doing, which is coming up with a plan. So how that plan got developed, I don't think they're concerned as much as do you have a plan.
Okay. Committee input? Any comments? Okay.
On this topic?
On this topic?
No.
Okay.
I'll just mention also, there is a little bit of a cycle for these grants. And so we've got time. We're about to come up on the cycle. And so if we have this document, and if it's possible with all the touch bases that we need to do to start to be able to use it, then I think, it might be something to consider. So I think City Manager and I will have some of those additional touch bases, and then we can come back and report to the committee. It would be, I think, probably the committee that would endorse this and bring it forward to the Planning Commission or to the
Well,
City.
we have reviewed it and endorsed it. We just have not endorsed it to the
Yeah.
planning
Well,
commission.
you know,
So whatever process we need to go
well,
through.
Parks and Rec would probably need, I would think that probably, I was thinking through the mechanics of it, since it is a Parks and Rec, that plan, it would probably need to come through them to commission, and then commission would approve it as the city's official Parks and Recreation plan.
As long as we follow the,
But if you start backing that up, but so I'll get with SE Group this week,
Okay.
because, you know, that's the thing about government, if you start backing it up, and we got a month, then next month we do this, and next month, we're there, we're in January, February, just to get this thing approved,
yeah.
to be able to start with it. I mean, it's not gonna go on November, so December, at the soonest, we can get everything done, and that's gonna be some, you know, getting.
Yeah, and the only thing to wrap this up, and then I believe the conversation with the mayor is this whole document, this whole committee was going to submit this completed document to planning. So therefore, if we're not submitting a completed document, and we're not submitting the master plan for Parks and Rec, I'm just looking at.
I think those conversations we can
Okay.
have on what's the best route forward. Well, you know, and I want to make sure that who's approving that is who the grant writers want to see approval by, because Parks and Rec, you know, that, like I said, can be a standalone. I think they want to see that's the city plan. I would say they want the city commission to accept that. And if it's got to go through you all.
Oh, no, I think it's already been through
Well,
us,
then
yeah.
Parks and Rec, planning, and then commission, then we're talking about, because we also got to do public notice, we got to get
Mhm.
things out. We're talking January, February now. So the more groups it goes through, the more we back this thing up.
So can we, for this committee, October, November, December's meeting, based on dates, it looks like you want to get that handled by the next meeting.
Yeah.
Would you care to report back to this committee on that direction?
Okay.
Okay, that'd be good for our knowledge anyways. I don't have a problem if there's any discussion needed. If we can separate this document, and start moving forward.
You can, I just checked
We can.
ChatGPT, there's certain grants that won't allow it, it'll specify that.
Okay, it'll say that it has to be part of the land use. Okay,
And we might have to rename it, just have it be its own document.
okay. Well, we'll let the city manager and the mayor.
Send it through your planning commission,
Okay.
governing body adopts it.
Yeah, I'd say, city manager, if this requires some sort of more formal vote from us, then approving it as having read it, we can do a 10-minute meeting before we have to do that in the next couple of weeks to make this happen. I mean, I absolutely agree that this is, the waterfall of city government timing is not in our advantage here, not in our favor, so let's get this thing done.
Okay, any more comments, city manager? I think that kind of crosses those Ts there with our, and dots our Is with I'd like to open it up to, first of all, committee members, any open conversation for the better of the community, any comments? I do appreciate your service. I know I say it every month, but I do appreciate your
I
service.
got two things for you.
Co-chair?
Yeah. All right, number one, Mr. City Manager, it's very nice to have you in these meetings. So thank you, and it's very nice to have you in the role more generally, so thank you for doing that. It's wonderful. Second thing is, sometimes I feel like we're up here saying, you know, we're delaying, it's taking us time, and feel pretty helpless when we're doing that, you know, and that's not really in my makeup to like be helpless when we're approaching something. And I just want to say it out loud that you know, we as a group decided to, you know, with the approval of the planning commission and the city commission to go on this project and to have these expert consultants come in and help us, you know. I think just want to reiterate that if we're feeling, call it stuck or we're down about the process, it is the process here, and I think if we could go through this land use and transportation plan and do it ourselves, we would have done that already. If we had the expertise to go through and strip it and update it and make it all happen, we would have done it. And it just eats at me that we can't do that, and I also understand that I'm wholly unqualified for that. And so, thank you guys for just staying with it. It's been a while we've been doing this, and I really don't want to throw up the white flag, but we've got to have our experts pull through for us so that we can put out a document that's not just a farce. So,
Well, and substandard,
so thank you.
yeah, by all means.
Well said.
Sorry, I find it hard to believe what you, Sandy, when I'm talking.
All right.
So is there any thought to having SE just handle the whole project like we thought originally?
You mean jump into, well, I think East Tennessee Development has a large majority of the document prepared. So I don't personally, to trash that and start that over, I think there'd be a cost factor to that also. I don't think we just get granted, time served. But still, there's been, like the co-chair was saying, I think we're stuck here, feels that way with the specialists involved. And and it has been frustrating for all, that this isn't, that we're at the feet of, the consultants, for the most part. Obviously, I was extremely optimistic that boom, 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 mid-July, we'd be down the road and our names would be,
Forever glorified.
forever glorified. And, off the committee chairs by any means and down the road. But you know what? This is the way I look at it, just like you said, Christina, there's, and Houston did too. This is a turning point for our small municipality. I still believe in this document wholeheartedly that we can add vision statements that's never been done. We can add Parks and Rec master plans that's never been done. And this is the committee that is supplying that feedback and that review board and all the input taken here to move this forward. So sometimes it's not in my makeup either, co-chair, but sometimes things take a little bit longer and we have to rely on, fortunately, our consultants to pull us through. I agree with the co-chair. It's exciting to have not only a city manager, but to have Don Scallions here to work with. He's got a long-standing history in Townsend, is also a Townsend resident. So I feel revived by the fact that we have Don and we have Gayla back. And it really makes it, it's kind of like getting a pat on the back from the third base coach when you're rounding third, heading to home. And I'll just leave it at that. Any final thoughts from the community out there? All hearts and minds clear? Come to the mic.
What do you call him, Jeff?
You have to wear orange or white next time you
It's been
would like to address them.
Thought I'd get by one.
No.
Somebody that comes to y'all's meetings
Yeah.
when I'm in town,
Thank you.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So I agree 100% with Houston.
Yeah.
Sounds like East Tennessee doesn't want to work for Townsend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been a consultant. If we acted like that for a school board, which I have done work for, we would be out.
Yeah.
Or there would be serious contract, and because that's the only way you can get this other group is void their contract. That's probably going to take it longer, so you want to avoid that. But it doesn't sound like they want to do the work. I mean, it was clear to me what y'all wanted. You took the old plan, actually looked through the old plan and just update it with additional things. So yeah, it's sort of frustrating to come every meeting and really, the Parks and Rec was actual something. And that was good. That was good. So hopefully that's what you'll get for the city plan. Something that has goals and strategies, something that's actual plan versus just a lot of words. You'll have a lot of words and a lot of great information. So, so whatever these guys need to do to put pressure on them, and but it sure sounds like they don't want to do the work.
Any comments? No, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Come to mind? You are, I don't believe.
My name is Rob Cochran. First of all, I appreciate what you guys do here and the effort you're putting forward. I know it's, I've been kind of watching from a distance, and I remember at Heritage Center where, you know, the whole, bring everybody in and talk about the plan and the vision and really get feedback from the, you know, from the community about what this should look like, what this should feel like. And so from my standpoint, I haven't heard a lot of where that went after that and what direction this has taken. I'd love to get a little bit of feedback on where you started, what you've learned through the process, where you are, and what is the vision kind of unfolding right now. And then roadblocks, I understand, with ETDD.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a roadblock, and so if there's something from a standpoint that the community can get together and put a push on the right places to it, if that will help. There's some of us out there willing to make some phone calls and put some pressure where we need to if need be. But just kind of curious from your standpoint, for you guys that have been here a long time, where you started, what you've learned, and where you're headed. I would love to kind of get some feedback.
Well, I will, I think Christina has something to say.
And maybe I shouldn't say it, but what keeps right in my head is that when we first started this, I remember SE Group wanting to do the whole thing, and East Tennessee Development District wanted to do their part, and SE Group was so good about it, like they just said, no, sometimes this doesn't really work out really good, and so what I learned is that wasn't the right tactic, that it was smarter to go with the one group at the beginning. I think that's what I learned.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and I was, and I'll raise my hand on that. I was the one that kind of ran up the hill with the hybrid consultant process, based on the fact that when we were reviewing consultants, there wasn't one that was based in Tennessee and understood the culture needed. We had a long-standing relationship, still do, with East Tennessee Development District. They have been, if you come to our planning meetings, they had been sitting in this seat and other seats for a long time with the Townsend Planning Commission. And I think when we went into this process, and they actually developed the 2010 plan under a different name. They had a different name at that time. So to me, it looked like, on the surface, a no-brainer. The person that was involved, Joe Barrett, with the first plan, Joe was still involved in the second plan. There was a kind of an overlap. He was the city planner, and then we have a new city planner now, but still for East Tennessee Development District. Joe's down at the office. I saw that as East Tennessee Development District being able to provide the culture necessary, a long-standing understanding of this very unique gateway municipality that we have here and the history behind it, and to be able to be compassionate about all things involved. And then it just went in a different, and everything had been going good until the last little part. I still believe that once we get the final document for SE Group to wrap up from East Tennessee Development District, that what we're going to see in it is the culture, is the spoken Appalachia feel that we're looking for. That was the one thing that we've heard from the public meetings was, especially when we were reviewing consultants, they were coming in and referencing, gateway communities in Colorado and all over the place, right? And Townsend has this bumper sticker on every car that the city residents own, and probably all the community people, that it's on the back of my car, it's on the back of everybody's car. We're not like everybody else, and that's what the bumper sticker says. We want to establish our own unique independence. And we heard that from the public meetings, that we want to have this done our way. So I think the fact to have East Tennessee Development District would provide not and we didn't even know, SE Group, it could have ended up the other way with SE Group. They could have bought us a plan from Estes Park or somewhere else and said, okay, well, let's just change the name. I think we even had one consultant that spelled Townsend incorrectly.
It was them. It was.
Was it SE Group? Yeah. So you can see that right there. And then, you know, I was concerned initially for the fact, just my thoughts, my speaking, we'll let the other committee members respond if they want to, making sure we had, because East Tennessee Development District is in the same county. That's what we were looking for. Like, I'm happy we have a city manager that actually lives in Townsend, you know, and I think that's the way the Townsenites reflect wanting to move forward. We were very, obviously, very pleased with the result of SE Group.
I appreciate that.
Any other comments?
We all both just, drill in on our consultant choice, and I think we learned through this process is that the people of Townsend want to look forward, and they want to plan for the future, and they want to have a place that is both protected, preserved, has some life to it moving forward. And I think we figured that out. All of that feels like a long time ago, and I think so if you want to talk about process or community or whatever, like sure, hindsight 2020 kind of, as we said, right? Like, yeah, we probably would turn out different. But we're still in the middle of the process, and if you're working in a government format, things take time, that, and that the community part of it feels so important to what we're doing because you're constantly talking to people and asking about it. And when you turn it over to your experts, per se, not all expert personalities work, and I think expert personalities, in terms of consultants or in terms of whatever private business life you might be working with different experts, like when you find the right expert, it's awesome. But sometimes when you work with the wrong one, it's really difficult. And so as we've gone through this last, it's been about 9 months of this past kind of phase, we transitioned out of the vision stuff. It's been more difficult because it's been less interaction. And so I think in retrospect, for me, I would say that if we did this again, and we're all still here in 10 years or 12 years, whatever it is, we do this again, that we run these things parallel so that we don't lose community engagement while we're doing the expert stuff too. Because that was life-giving in many ways to be around others who talk about it, where this has been soul-sucking as we've been making excuses for people we don't have control over.
There was a day when this room was full during these.
Christina, does that work?
Sandy, any final comments?
No, good job.
Any final questions?
I appreciate it, and coming from a community that was very similar to Townsend where I grew up, and it's not that way anymore. It has exploded. The developers took over all of that, right? So it's not what it once was, and it does feel like everybody here wants to kind of keep the character for what it is. There is this kind of zero growth mode from some folks, which is just unrealistic. There's never zero growth, right? But it would be great from the community side to hear a little bit more about here's where we are, here's what we've done, here's where we're headed, and just to start to paint that picture.
Yeah.
I think if they dispel fears or may create some fear, who knows?
And I think to answer that question, I think that's where we're going with our new city manager is based on what even the conversation in this meeting, him reporting back next month. He knows he has a lot of work to do, and he has a full staff and has support of the mayor and this committee, obviously. So I know he's going to be a busy man, and I think Superman's going to come in and save the day, to be honest with you. I'm very excited about it. No pressure. So hopefully, like I say, we've gone through some downtime without a city manager and without staff here. And that is, for a very small municipality like ours, that is just something that we have to almost tolerate, that process, because we are a small.
I understand what goes on.
Yeah, we don't have a Townsend property tax, just for that reason, so we provide, we survive on it.
Totally understand. Just thank you guys for being.
Oh, no, I appreciate the comment.
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem.
It doesn't look like you recognize me. He built the new Townsend Visitor Center.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It's a building.
I didn't know.
Oh, the one across the,
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be that when I built it.
yeah, no, so I remember you coming in and applying for permits and going through that process, yeah, okay, so I do recognize you there. Any final comments? Everybody good? Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.